Welcome to Cyberpunk, guys. I love this game so much, and I had to make this video to get my community hyped about what's coming because there is a sequel. That's right. It's been announced already, but I have some details that I want to kind of help you guys understand what's going on, and it's going to be a good video when it comes to coverage of this game. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do have giveaways. Check the comments and description for those that want to win some things during the holidays. We appreciate you guys very much. Now, let's get into it. First of all, CD Projekt Red. These guys, I honestly wasn't a fan. I'd never played any of their games until Cyberpunk came out. And that was the first time that they caught my interest. So when you're listening to me, it's not like I'm a fanboy of these guys. They earned my respect with this game. And I think it is an incredible story, universe, and as you can see, gameplay. There's some crazy things you can do in this game that I absolutely love. At the same time, I ended up playing Witcher 3 right after because I was such a fan of this game that I said I need to try that. And that was amazing as well. And so CD Projekt Red has my respect already as a studio. We know what they're capable of, giving you amazing experiences in gaming. And Cyberpunk did start off rough, but it did improve right away as they continue to evolve it. And when I played it on release, the game was crashing on a PlayStation 5, I believe. And it wasn't until, a little time after where everything started to make sense for me. And it clicked. This whole game was amazing, even with the crashes that was happening every couple hours. So you gotta love it. And one of the biggest things is that these guys improved it so much now, and they brought out this expansion that was incredible as well. So definitely something to look forward to. If you haven't played the game, again, this is not no sponsorship, and I'm just randomly talking about this, but I did want to tell you guys about what they announced 2 years ago and that I got excited for, which was Cyberpunk Part 2. And this is going to be incredible because they're going to take it to the next level. When they talk about it, and they said it's codename Orion, and basically they wanted to take the franchise further and develop the game in a special way. So I personally was very excited, and this is kind of what they put. Orion is the codename for our next Cyberpunk game. We'll be taking the franchise further and continue harnessing the potential of this dark future universe. And I totally am for this, right? And this is something that is so incredible. They announced it that it's going to be from the people from Canada and in Boston, Massachusetts are going to be making this new game. And they talked about it in some podcasts and in a actual statement that they're basically already in the process. At first, it was on some research, and they were just researching for the first 2 years, and now they started to ramp up and prep, and they hired some high profile additions to the game. And we're talking about people you might know and love from the franchise, and already that they've done things, whether it's Witcher or the Cyberpunk 2077, and they hired other people from other games. They pretty much put together a dream team to help spearhead this game to the next level. And I think it's so incredible because, as we know, this game has some amazing stuff overall. And I want to kind of go through some of the news and information. We're going to take a pause here and check it out. It says Private Orion is in the early stages of development. The studio veterans previously involved with Cyberpunk 2077, and then also the spy thriller Phantom Liberty, which is the expansion, if you guys didn't know. All of those guys got hired. They're basically making their team bigger, and it's everything that I just basically talked about. But it's so cool because I'm telling you guys that this is going to be a phenomenal year for them when they release this. There's a lot of speculations on what this game has or doesn't have, and I want to kind of run through some of that on confirmations and then talk about speculations. Okay, we're gonna do the speculations in between all of it. But of course, they're continuing the series. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's a direct sequel, but there's a lot of possibilities that it could be a direct sequel to what we saw. This game has so much amazing different characters and ways it can go, whether it's into the corporate ladder, whether it's just mercenaries out there taking jobs. There's so many levels to what it could be when it comes to this game. And that's something that I personally really am excited for, because I would hope that they're smart enough to give us something extremely interesting and let it be different. There was people that were in my live streams when I was playing this game saying that, they just wanted a sequel in the same city. And I don't agree. I think that it's fine. I mean, you can have that, and we're going to pause this, but I do think you should have a new map. So before we continue, I just want you to see this. It says, they mentioned that Orion was in the development phase when it comes to research, and now they're more in line to basically start putting in the work. And that's something I already said to you guys. I just wanted to show you the quotes directly from the developers and things like that. But as I was stating, do you really want to have the same map again? And we've seen this in other games, and it does work, but it isn't the best. For me, I prefer something new. I don't mind a revisit of an area, but I don't necessarily want it to stick to that. We're going to take a moment and look into here with this Q&A from one of the CD Projekt Red CEOs, Michael here. And it said, should we expect development teams to start growing more visible? And basically, he's like, we've increased everything for them. And he's explained, they have other projects that they're working on, but they feel pretty confident that they're able to move forward, building on the team, growing the studios, because it's multiple partners. And basically, you're talking about so many different games that they're doing. They have a remake in the works. They have a Witcher game in the works. And they have this project, which to me is extremely exciting. First of all, The Witcher is amazing, so I can't wait for that as well. But we're focused on Cyberpunk today, guys. So let's stick to the subject. So that was some of the information from the developers. But again, my conversation to you guys is things like maps. Like, I don't need the same map, and I don't need the same characters. I can have a whole new experience. You create your character. And so why not give us a new character, a new environment, and then continue to develop all the cool stuff that they have. You can see this universe is just spectacular. I mean, there's literally nothing wrong with this universe here. It is amazing. It's so different, so diverse, so detailed. Personally, I love that about this game, and I cannot wait to see where they go with it. So that's just my opinion when it comes to the universe, but I do feel some of the stories can get interesting, and Orion itself can be its own game when it comes to that is its own thing in the universe as well. And I don't want to spoil the story, so we're not going to get into what's going on with them, but you can just see, some spies, some hired mercenaries, people that are looking to lock in. So that is exciting. Now I want to talk about the engine, the Unreal Engine. You see there the Matrix. Imagine this game in the Unreal Engine going forward for the future with the next gen consoles and PCs running 4K, 120 plus frames per second. Insanity. Okay, we're talking about amazing stuff, and I do believe that it's going to take us to the next level when they work on this project. The question I have is gameplay. Okay. There's speculation. Again, this is one of those speculations about them hinting to an online element. All right. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It is not saying that it won't. Basically, they already had, if you didn't know, for Cyberpunk 2077, an online feature that they had to cancel because the game wasn't ready. So they had some work on their updates and fixes rather than give you a multiplayer. But the question is, what type of online do you want? I know most of us, like myself, are as happy playing single player games as long as the universe and story and everything is fun. But if they was to give us a multiplayer within the universe, for example, Cyberpunk 2077, they announce it today and say, "Hey, there's a new multiplayer. You can play co-op, or you can play a new PvP mode. Go for it. Go for it." And I just think that would be very cool, in my opinion. And by the way, let's just take a moment and show you some stealth here. My favorite way to play, but again, if you like all action, you've seen some of that in the beginning. But so personally, I mean, I wouldn't mind a PvP mode separate, just like, hey, we got this extra thing for you guys. But I do think that single player games suffer when they try to add a co-op that doesn't keep you immersed in the story. So a lot of times when I play co-op story games, I just don't pay attention to the story. I'm chatting with whoever I'm playing with, and we're just casually playing. But it's also very nice to experience a game again, a second playthrough with co-op in mind. So I'm kind of on the fence with this conversation. And again, y'all have y'all opinions. Feel free to share what you think is going to happen. Once this game starts picking up with news, I will have you covered. This game to me is one of the most special games I've played in recent years. So I'm super hyped and excited. As you can tell, I'm here just talking about this. But the original spinoff, again, was very cool. It was interesting. It was going to just be its own project, and they just didn't launch it. So the fact that it's possible to get something like that would be very cool and exciting. The conversation about what the next game could be about. Is it a plot about the Phantom Liberty? You know, is it about UV or Johnny Silverhand? You know, which characters are the games going to be about? Those are conversations for the comments, because we don't have confirmation from them just yet about what exactly that's going to look like, you know. So those are some of the key points about the news of that's coming, and now that it's in full-fledged development. And hey, if you're a developer watching this, I know I got a lot of friends in the developer scene and you guys follow me on YouTube, go ahead and check out the studios, Canada and in Boston. If you're in Boston, hit me up. I'm out here as well. Go get hired and tell me all the news so that I can cover this for you guys. I'm not gonna leak, don't worry. But for everybody watching, you know, let me know what you're thinking. If you find any information, always feel free to share with me. I'm happy to cover this game and Witcher 3 for that matter. Cyberpunk really made me a fan, and then Witcher 3 locked me in with the studio. I started Googling them like, hey, CD Projekt Red, you guys are the real deal. Sorry I never paid attention for so many years. Now I'm fully committed to enjoying their games on another level. So, but yeah, those are some of my thoughts and opinions and feelings about what's going on with Cyberpunk, specifically the part 2, aka that's not going to be the real name, but we'll see the code name change into the official release once they get that going and finish it up. I'm sure that the writing is already developed for the most part, and then they're just working on some new things. So we'll see what happens. I hope you guys are having a great one. Remember to be good to yourself and be good to others. Peace, love, God bless. Go catch that next video. It's popping up right now. See you there. Peace.